10-adic numbers in simple words are numbers that have an infinite string of digits to the left, such as 876543321. Okay, now comes the fun part. We can prove that the 10-adic number 999 is equal to -1. Here is the proof. Take the number and add 1. So at the ones digit 9 plus 1 equals 0, 1 gets carried over to the second digit. The same happens here and all the digits come after. But since the 9s are never ending, the result is an infinite number of zeros, aka 0 point. Now let x plus 1 equals 0, so x equals -1. By comparing the two, we can say that the 10-adic number equals -1. Using this, we can also find these values present on screen. Now let's talk about the number line. We all know that 0 is in the middle, and to its right are positive numbers and to its left are negative numbers. Now let's replace these 10-adic numbers with their counterparts, aka replace 999 with -1. Now you will have noticed that the far right end with negative numbers in increasing order, aka -3, -2, -1. So we can tell that the far right is equal to the part at the immediate left of 0. So since they are equal, we can join them both to obtain a loop. So here we start with 0 at the bottom building its way up to the max value before coming back to 0. You can do the same for the negative side as well. Now, when you combine these both, you will get a shape that resembles a vertical infinity sign. So now draw a horizontal line through the connecting point, aka 0. You will notice that the top side acts like a mirror of the bottom side, as the numbers and their respective mirrors have the same value. Example 1 and -999. This is the horizontal mirror rule. Using this, we can observe that -infinity and infinity are mirrors of each other. Hence, we can probe that they have the same value. Since we found this out, we can now make the loop look like this. The 0 is at the bottom, while infinity is presumed to be at the other end of the diameter, whose one side is 0. Now draw a vertical line through the presumed infinity and 0. You will realize that the left side of the mirror is the negative of the right side. This is called the vertical inverse rule. Now let's try to find the value of the presumed infinity. Let's assume that this doesn't exist. That indicates that there are two integers x and y, which are consecutive and are on opposite sides, with y being at the left of the assumed infinity while x is at the right. Using vertical inverse, we can infer that y equals -x. As y is the next consecutive number after x, y equals x plus 1 on solving these two equations, we get x equals -1/2, y equals 1/2. Since x and y aren't integers, there exists an integer, aka the assumed infinity. To find it, get the mean of x and y, which is 0. So shockingly, the number which we assume to be infinity is 0. This tells us that the circle has already looped once before reaching the top, and that infinity exists somewhere in between the bottom and top. On simplifying using the newfound info, we realize that we get the exact same loop. This tells that while we can find the region of infinity, we cannot pinpoint its exact location. So you can see that we have converted a straight line into a circle. I call this the impossible loop. Why impossible? It's due to the quote-unquote plot hole. I'm about to show you. The number loop is a 2D graph, but it only contains a single variable, x. The dimensional looks like it's 2D because the x dimension is curved from a straight line to a loop. So this begs the question, how is there a two-dimensional graph with only a single variable? Okay, so what I'm about to say now is pure theory, and my evidence to back it up is weak. So let's imagine that there exists an imaginary dimension perpendicular to the x dimension that makes the loop 2. D is this imaginary dimension I Is it square root minus 1? I think this is the case because the imaginary numbers are on a plane perpendicular to the number line and act as a y-axis or a second dimension at times. Anyways, let's try to get this impossible loop concept in 3D. So this is a model I made where each of the 3 loops represents an axis. So this is a model I made where each of the 3 loops represents an axis.